Welcome, Aquarius. Just a side note, just for the next 3 minutes or so, the sound quality is not going to be very good, but then we switch back to the other camera after 3 minutes. So please hang in there. All right, Aquarius. I apologize if the sound is a bit low on this. I find the YouTube sound, I can never get it loud enough, but I'm using a different camera because my other device is too hot. Literally, it keeps shutting down because I've been using it so much today. Can we see what is relevant or something important or relevant about the reading that we're about to see? That came out right away. Intuition. Hang on, I gotta get the focus right. Is the little tug that pulls you toward your light. Let's get one more. So I think that your intuition is correct. It's almost like a little tug. So it's a phenomenally good guide for you, that's for sure. Good for you. That's awesome. Okay, show me more. What else is relevant? Oh, that just flew. Of course, you guys. Shine. You are made of stardust, so keep sparkling. I would say that every single one of you are star seeds. Do you know that I was reading on one of the galactic informational blogs their frustration for not being able to introduce stardust to cure people who are in pain and to cure people who have diseases here? So it's interesting. They have material and elements that have incredible healing properties. Anyway, and they called it stardust. All right, so we're going to get another few oracle cards before we start with the tarot. Let's see if we can get one more hint from this oracle deck. What else? In 3, please. What else is relevant? In 2 more. What else will we see? What else is relevant and important about the reading we're about to see? Wow. Initiation and ecstasy. Is that not a beautiful, beautiful combination of cards? Notice the rings that are joined together there. There is a very important meaning associated with that. Just before I blurt it out, I'm going to double check just before I speak. Sorry guys, I had to switch cameras. Just before I go to the well-known meaning of that symbol, I want to show you something. So just have a look at it again. The 2 intertwined circles. Now, I just want to play you a portion of what I'm going to show you are some photographs of the asteroids that began to make close calls last year. I was following one of the cameras that was able to get a close-up view of the asteroids. None of them obviously hit the Earth, but on all of them, the ones that there was a whole army of them, that a slew of them that were coming in daily, like with 3 hours notice. Just look at the symbol. Those are from the readings that I did. Almost all of them had those joined circles. Look at that. It's incredible, eh? So what is one of the meanings of two overlaid circles? Apparently, one meaning is that it symbolizes the interface between the spiritual and physical worlds, represented by the two circles. It also represents the ichthys symbol for Christ, the fish. Anyway, it goes on, other interpretations. If we added another circle, we'd have the Holy Trinity. But there's one other thing interesting about this, and that's that I actually think that those asteroids might have been messages from Spirit or the galactics. I mean, they all seem to be messages of peace and unity. Anyway, okay, and the word initiation, perhaps this is initiation of us meeting, the other species from other civilizations. I do believe that it's going to be happening soon. With the beautiful bird, with the vibrant colors, and the ecstasy card, this could also be about the Creator, and all the beautiful things that can be created, the infinite number of possibilities. There is an idea of infinity with a circle, because as we all know, the area of a circle is an irrational number. It's an infinite number. So that symbol, many of you know as Vesica Piscis. Now, there are so many meanings for that symbol, but I'm just going to say a few words about it. So the interpretation that I'm about to give you, I actually am just repeating the interpretation of a man that I think was very, very, very brilliant on YouTube. This is how he explains it, okay? In essence, I think what he's talking about is creation and the divine feminine and how things are created. So he calls it Vesica Piscis, by the way, but I think actually it's Vesica Piscis, but who cares? So he starts with the circle, and it's interesting because with that card, Ecstasy, sorry, I shouldn't have gotten rid of it. We just have a circle, okay? So what he says is that the circle represents source, the infinite. And that makes sense right there because, as we know, mathematicians and physicists have been beating their heads against the wall for years about why the area of a circle is actually an irrational number. It's infinite. I won't get into that too much because it's mathematical, but in essence, when you have, if you're trying to calculate the square footage, like my pencil just broke, of anything that has straight lines, you'll get a finite number. The square footage of, let's say this is 2 feet, this length is 2 feet, and this length is 2 feet. So you'll get 4 square feet. And you won't get 4.1 that goes on. You'll get a rational number, but it's because you're dealing with something that's two-dimensional, right? So if you add a third dimension, with dimensions, as you add dimensions, dimensions have to be 90 degrees. So what I should have said here is that according to physicists, when you add a dimension, the added dimension has to be 90 degrees to the most recent dimension. What's 90 degrees to a straight line? This is 90 degrees to a straight line, so that's two-dimensional. What's 90 degrees to that? Well, height. So we're still in the 3D there. Now, if we add another dimension, we're going to get something that we don't really understand. So, in other words, we're moving in straight lines here, even with the 3D. But with a circle, we're not moving in straight lines. So if we're trying to calculate the square footage of a circle, the problem is, first of all, no matter what the size of a circle is, no matter how big or small, there is something really unusual about circles. And that is that if we ask ourselves, how many, let's say this is the very center of this circle, okay, and we know that from here to any point on the circle is the radius, and we know that, this full straight line here is the diameter. If we are, for any circle, no matter what size it is, if we are to ask ourselves, how many of these are in the circumference? So if this were a string, if we took this string and we went 1, 2, 3, and we'd be able to lay this line 3 times plus a little bit more, but it's the little bit more is infinite. So it's 3.14 da 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 da. It's an irrational number. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And of course, it's because we're dealing with a point on a circle, right? So, as you would have to keep going down and down and down. At any point is infinite. It can get infinitely smaller. It doesn't stop. If you're looking to get to the smallest point, you won't find it. It doesn't stop. It's infinite. So it's an irrational number. So to calculate the area of a circle, what is the calculation again? Just a second now. I'll get it. Oh, by the way, first of all, so this number 3.14 da 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 da, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. This irrational number, that is the same no matter which size of a circle you have. So in other words, what it is it's a ratio between the diameter and the circumference of any circle. It's a constant relationship that is always there. So in other words, for this little tiny circle, it's the same thing. How many of these diameters fit around there? 3.14 da 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 da. So so what do we call this irrational number? We call it pi. Okay? So now, if we're trying to calculate the area of a circle, what is the formula again? Just a minute, I'll get it for you now. Okay, so the area of a circle, let's say this radius is 2 centimeters. If we want to calculate the area of a circle, and it doesn't matter what size of a circle, the area of any circle is equal to that irrational number, pi, times the radius squared. So anything squared means it times itself. So 2 centimeters times 2 centimeters is 4. So the area of this circle will be pi times 4. So just a minute now. So the area of this circle is going to be 12.561. It's going to be another irrational number. So the point is, there's something very infinite about a circle. So it's the creator, right? That the creator is infinite. Now, so here's how this guy on YouTube describes this symbol, Visca Piscis, or Visca Pisces, he calls it. What he says that it is if this is the creator, and let's say the creator wants to create things like this beautiful, gorgeous species of bird. Well, it replicates itself in some way. Now, what he says is that the Visca Pisces, or the Visca Piscis, is actually this center here, which, as we know, can sometimes represent Jesus. And now, do you see how that fish is there, which we all know that symbol is around the neck of the King of Cups. The fish as actually represents Jesus. So in his mind, it has something to do. Oh, and furthermore, what he says is that this portion, he says, represents the feminine, the divine feminine. So, and did I happen to point out to you on the asteroid the fish that was showing up? Let me show you. If I didn't, I can't remember if I did in the earlier part of the reading. So like months and months ago, when those asteroids, those close calls were coming in, I posted a reading. I think it was on the Amabella's Intuition channel. I'm not sure where I'm going to post this reading, either on the Prisca or Amabella's Intuition, but you'll find this reading on one of those channels. Let me just show you the fish on the asteroid. While I'm waiting for it to load, I'm just thinking of the Stardust thing. So on the CDT plates, the part of the translation is also that you've heard of the 12 days of Christmas, and we three kings, remember the three kings? Apparently, they were bringing, the gifts that those kings were bringing were some kind of element, like one of them could have been stardust, and the elements were needed to open portals on earth. The 12 days of Christmas, as soon as Jesus was born, came into existence here, he had to be brought underground, and each of those 12 days represents the activation of a strand of his DNA. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so I'm going to play you an excerpt from a reading that I posted 4 months ago on Amabella's Intuition, and it's called "The Asteroids Coming Toward Us Have Messages from God Written All Over Them." Christ, creation, God. Okay, now just give me a minute now. Here's what's in the video.
Meanings. First of all, it can be the meaning of sacred creation. It can be the seal of God, or it has another name. And by the way, this is on every single one of the asteroids. Just before we get to the meaning, I'll show you. There we go. So this symbol, this is one of the asteroids. I'll show you all of them in a moment, but there we go with the symbol. Two overlaid circles placed one above the other symbolizes the interface between the spiritual and physical worlds, represented by the two circles. In this arrangement, it also resembles the isthmus, I'm not pronouncing that correctly, fish symbol for Christ, and has also been said to be a symbol of life, of the materialization of the Spirit, of Christ's mediation between heaven and earth, and of the Eucharist. Okay, now don't worry, I'm going to close up on this in a minute, but I just wanted you to know which asteroid this was. This is 2024 SB, like Bobby. And that, very clearly, is a fish. Incredible, eh?
Okay.
All right, now I want you to look at the dots in the middle of this.
Anyway, it's pretty, so I mean, it's something else. And guys, there's one other thing. So on the Prisca channel, I posted a video because what I noticed was for all the asteroids that were incoming 4 months ago, there was a word that was etched. And I found it on every single, so this is 2024 RJ16. I'm putting it in high speed here. Do you see that? It almost like, you know that symbol for pi? It looks like it's in, and that's 2024 RO2, that completely different asteroid. 2024 RH45, 2024 RO2, and this is
2024 SS, 2024 SD3. Now, do you see that shape there? I have no idea what that is, but it's 2024 R02. It was showing up on almost all of them. 2024 RJ16, there's that shape again. 2024 R02. I don't know what this is. Look at the conjoined circles, by the way. 2024 R02. And there's something that looks like a bird. And 2024 SR4, there's that bird again. It's 2000. Just look at the conjoined circles, guys. I mean, there's something about that. There's that bird again. 2024 RH45. So if some of you are Muslim, I know what you're thinking right now about the oil lamp, because that has significance as well. There was an experience that Muhammad had in the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which unfortunately for the Palestinians is located in Israel. That was part of the, I think that's part of what causes the kerfuffle. Let's go to the tarot now and just see if anything comes out in relation to this. Okay, so we said we were going to use... We said we were going to use this tarot deck, which is called the Touchstone Tarot Deck. So the two messages that we had from the chakra was, you are made of stardust, so keep sparkling. And intuition is the little tug that pulls you toward your light. We have initiation and ecstasy. And those conjoined circles. All right, so in 5 soft. In 4. What do we have for Aquarius, please? 3 more. 2 more. What do we have for Aquarius, please, Spirit? Thank you. And 1 more. What do we have for Aquarius in this reading? All right, here we go, guys. Wow. So we've got the Emperor and the 3 of Coins, which is the Emperor and the 3 of Pentacles. So we've got a card of Aries and a card of Capricorn. That's Mars in Capricorn, the seal of great work done together. The Emperor can sometimes represent God. In this deck, the 3 of Coins represents noble work with both a spiritual and material purpose, a well-deserved reputation for excellence. Why do I feel like this has something to do with you, Aquarius, working with God? Show me a little bit more, please. So we have the idea of working with a spiritual purpose, working with the material and the spiritual. Show me more, my goodness. Look at this. Look at the 2 major arcana. We have the Emperor and Archangel Michael, the card of Temperance. In this deck, this is a woman, and below her is a statuette of an angel. By the way, I know one of my clients actually has a statue of Archangel Michael in her home. But also, there is a dove that is perched on the bench. Look at this. In this deck, the meaning of this card is a balanced life, and someone who has combined their spiritual, emotional, and material needs, and has, attained satisfaction and a state of moderation. So I believe that you could be an angel for God.
there's a beautiful state of equilibrium here. We also know that Archangel Michael is considered to be the messenger of God, how God speaks. Perhaps you're calling upon Archangel Michael in prayer. What else do we have for Aquarius? Could be dealing with an Aries or a Pisces or a Sagittarius there. Now, so these could be forces that are working against you here with the Five of Wands, and yet you're maintaining a state of equilibrium. Could be dealing with a Leo here. Guys, I believe this is definitely, so this would represent, remember how I always talk about the fives as testers? Well, guess what in this deck the Five of Wands refers to? Obstacles and conflicts that serve to prepare us for more serious ones. Challenge of a worthy competitor. So, and notice how you're maintaining a state of equilibrium. I believe the message here is, a lot of you are very curious about why your life has been so difficult. And I agree with you that you have been, I've seen it in your readings for the past 3-4 years, the incredible challenges that you guys have been facing. And remember how I sometimes say that it's like the boot camp that, up until this point in your life, I always suggest that you should view the trouble that has been challenging you as testers, as in the Kabbalistic tree of life. Sephira number 5 is considered, it's called Gevurah, and it's considered to be the tester, and the way that we are to observe these testers, these difficulties, as it's a measure, it's in order for us to develop discipline. In other words, you passed the test here because you've maintained a state of equilibrium despite all this conflict here. Show me a little bit more. This is beautiful, Aquarius. Show me a little bit more for Aquarius, please. Can't wait to see what this is. Look at the 2 fives. 5 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. By the way, the people who have caused you trouble, I believe, are feeling very guilty about the trouble that they've caused you. So what I believe, having reviewed in this deck the meaning of the 5 of Cups, so the challenge with the challenge here regarding the 5 of Cups, what was challenging, because what the dark forces here wanted you to become pessimistic and to develop a contempt for love and romance, to lose hope. But what's happening here is that your hope is renewed. You've crossed a bridge. You've started a journey toward a more positive future. There's an idea here of having done work to repair your damaged psyche. But I believe that what you've done is you've made a decision because you want to heal. And that was and is the most important step. Show me a little bit more, please. I believe Spirit is telling you it was just a test, and you've passed it. There is renewed hope. Show me a little bit more for Aquarius. You may be dealing with a Leo or a Scorpio there. Show me a little bit. Okay, there's 3 trying to come out. Look, there's God again. Wonder what we're going to see here. Wow. Temperance. Yeah, and there's the 5 of Cups. So the message here is to maintain your hope. Maintain your hope. You have maintained this state of equilibrium. You have done so well, Aquarius. I believe that you are on your journey toward a very positive future. And I believe that you have made a decision to heal, and you have healed. Show me a little bit more, please, for Aquarius. Show me more. There's so much hope for the future here. So you responded in the correct way. Look at the other 5 there. Wow. Look at the decision that you've made. Oh, good Lord, this is awesome. Have a look at you in the 2 of Wands here. So, I mean, there, with 5 of Coins, that's Mercury in Taurus, where, you found hope where none could be seen. There has been, much, there was damage and loss here. But look at you in the 2 of Wands here. Wow. And this is the seal of great work done together. So in this deck, the 2 of Wands has an incredible meaning. So you may have a yearning. You do have the world in the palm of your hand. And although you do have it, fulfillment is still out of reach. But the tide is turning. It is time to set sail for new adventures. You may have had to leave behind some comforts. You may have lost social position. But the tide is turning. Let's see more for Aquarius. This is really amazing. More for Aquarius. So there, the 2 of Wands is Aries. The 3 of Coins is Capricorn. And the 5 of Coins is Taurus. So you may be dealing with any one of those signs. There's 3 trying to come out here. 5 of Wands again. 5 of Cups again. And the 4 of Coins. Now, isn't this interesting? So in the meaning of the 4 of Coins in this deck is that those who choose materialism, material success, it's at a price. And this is a very extreme thing to say, but the quote in this deck is, "The wealthy miser, too afraid of theft, may die alone. Materialism offers little real satisfaction. True wealth is shared." And what you're doing here is you are letting go. The Spirit wants you to know that you may have lost financially, but what you've done is you've reassessed your priorities and you've changed to a lifestyle that is more focused on love, happiness, and health. You have wisdom. You've used some wisdom here. Show me a little more. So this could be loss in love. That you faced all these challenges of the 5s of Kavura, but your real focus. You have the wisdom to realize that, yes, look at this. Wow. There's you in the Page of Wands, and I believe that this Hierophant is the what society says ought to be done and all this kind of thing. But here you are in the Page of Wands. Could be dealing with a Taurus, by the way, or a Sag here. Now, let's focus on the meaning of the Page of Wands in this deck. By the way, have a look at this interesting book that the page is looking at. These look like very ancient symbols there. This is very interesting. It's like a tower out there. I'm just going to review the meaning of this card in this deck because I actually can't remember. All right. You are about to get news of a creative project commencing. It has to do with an exciting journey full of new experiences. There is news coming in. This is a very new, something extremely new is coming in. You will experience a feeling of zest for life. I'm trying to, the only thing that the tarot guide for this deck says about that book is that it is an illuminated text that you are reading. And here you are a student reading an illuminated text. What you have beside you is a gold and silver bell. And what is outside the window is they call it a conical tower. in the shape of a cone. And as we all know, the Hierophant in most decks represents a conservative doctrine of religion, but it's an external doctrine, devoid of religion. And in this text, this has to do with a false prophet. And there is a belief that the Catholic Church distorted the real texts. Remember, I was talking earlier in this video about the CDT plates. Well, those refer to the real messages, the true messages, the truth about everything, the truth that was distorted. And in this lifetime, we are all very honored because we are experiencing a translation. We are about to get the truth of everything about where we came from. The Catholic Church, let me just suggest to you, if you're Catholic, I apologize, but there is a belief that the Bible that we have, including the Quran, all the religious texts that exist today are missing information and have distorted some of the real information. You're reading an illuminated text. That could be the CDT plates, the real truth. I believe this is a reading for you guys for sure, for the chosen ones. Show me a little bit more, please, for Aquarius. What is this new, exciting journey, oh my goodness, guys, this is incredible. I believe we're at the end of the reading. And I do believe that the Emperor is God. Now, let me just suggest something to you. You don't have to believe this, and I could be wrong. There is a possibility that God is actually in a physical form, in human form. I believe right now, and I could be wrong, I believe that God and Jesus are two characters that are highly respected by all civilizations. The Galactics do not like to speak of hierarchy. They really, it's not the way that they operate. They speak of cooperation and of we, but there is, technically a hierarchy. I believe that God is located at the very edge of the universe, and that I do believe he's in physical form. Now, look, I could be wrong. Okay, it's just what I believe right now. And let me read to you the description of the Emperor in this deck. An alert, bearded, fatherly figure sits on a stone throne adorned by ram's heads. He holds an orb and scepter and wears a bejeweled crown and majestic gold-trimmed cape and gloves. Around his neck he wears a black eagle on a gold medallion. His long beard and hair are graying, but he is still a strong, confident figure of authority, a man of experience and earthly power. So, I could be right there. But what is really interesting is that illuminated text. And what I believe this is, Aquarius, is an incredibly beautiful, inspiring message to you. This is and look at this bell that you have made of gold and silver. And I believe, and this beautiful wand here, and this is all about a new, exciting journey ahead of you. And perhaps it is to interpret, to illuminate the real truth. And who are you working with? The Lord. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message. So it could be that you are going to become, you are going to be placed in a position of power. There is a general theme, about, the major event is that the chosen ones are placed in positions of power. All right, so I believe that that is the end of the reading, and the main messages that I would take from this are to you are doing well, you have maintained your equilibrium, you have passed tests. There's also a message not to give up hope on love, not to give up hope on anything, and I don't believe that you have given up hope. Let's see if we can get a few more, can we get a little bit more guidance for Aquarius regarding this reading? Okay, something just flipped there. A little bit, oh, wow, two things just flipped. Grounding, sink your roots deep, connect them to the heart of the earth, and this could be the new earth. This is beautiful about foundation. Look at this, Aquarius, the flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. Aren't these the colors of that beautiful bird on the card of ecstasy? One more piece of advice for Aquarius. Well, that just flew out, so we'll take that. In order to cope with separation from a loved one, we need to realize that spiritually we are always connected to those we love. Neither distance nor time can separate that which is united by love. Perhaps you are worried about leaving others behind. Well, don't, because first of all, everyone has an ability at the galactics say that at any time people can turn toward the light. Two more. Your love life will transform when you learn to truly love yourself just as you are. You are perfect, just the way you are. Accept this and you will be amazed by the changes it brings into your life. Perhaps that has to do with the renewed hope about love. And I believe that this is a message from Spirit to you. I am so grateful for you, my love. You give so freely, without condition. Life is an endless flow of blessings because of your great love. We're going to get one more message. I think one more chakra card and one more message. This is really beautiful reading, by the way. What else does Aquarius need to know regarding this reading? What else does Aquarius need to remember regarding this reading? Truth. Speak from your heart. It is the only thing worth listening to, throat chakra. So Spirit does want you to speak up. You have a lot of truth, and I believe that you will be discovering the truth. Life is constantly changing, yet at its core, it remains the same. Love does not change, it only grows stronger. Change is simply love unfolding in its never-ending story, and that could be about the processes and changes that Mother Earth is going through in the ascension process. Aquarius, this has been an absolutely beautiful reading. Let me know if it resonates with you. I just want to get out that bird and just compare the colors here. Just a moment. Now have a look at this. Look at we've got the blue and the oranges and the reds, and even the white. I'm just looking at the shapes as well. There's the circle right there. It's just absolutely beautiful. And remember, with Archangel Michael, we have circles within. We have triangles and circles that are within a square. We've got triangles within a square there. It's absolutely amazing. All right, Aquarius, let me know what you think of this reading. And thank you for listening. Bye. Oh, and if any of you have any idea about what that word might have been, let me know. It looks like it's something written in Hebrew. Anyway, let me know if you have any idea what that is. All right, thanks for watching, Aquarius. Bye.